Watch me flex my flow, you'll be the next to know. Spit it hot flambeau, swing them bars like whoa. Grab the remote control, must have called a million times, I'm on the other side, hello. Better watch that stream, caught up in the tractor beam. Scrub that beat with bleach, so when I hit it, bro, I spit it clean. Burn it now, have to turn the furnace down. Y'all don't want this beef, I hit them with a holy cow. Hit them with the verse, got them thinking, wow. This ain't a game, kid, why you play around? This that ill spit, them bars are so sick. I'll shock the whole world in a phylactic. Every single time I spit another rhyme, the planets all align so bright I blind them with my shine. Bro, I'm designed to make your confidence decline. Every line about to blow like stepping on a landmine. Here we go. Here we go.
What is going on, everybody? We have a special double header that we're going to switch into kind of a triple threat type deal. We have a special guest on. He has very limited time, so we're going to turn him on as soon as he gets logged in and all situated. What is going on, Jason? Welcome to our special, I guess, Monday edition. Matt, man, what's up? Dude, Baby Trug, I can't get that song out of my head, but man, were they flying. So we do have a special guest. We are going to bring him on right up and to the forefront. He is doing some wrenching in the background. Let me add him to the stream.
Hey.
None other than Jordan, man. What is going on?
Oh, I'm just getting some tires ready for Wednesday night racing here.
Nice, man. You have been on fire over at Bago. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's what you want to call it. My engine wasn't really on fire on the last race.
Ooh, well, yeah, that we'll get into, but let me pull it up. So, for those of you who don't know, Jordan has been running the S Works out at the Quebec races and doing pretty good, as you can tell by the show, and was the only S Works to get into the podium last week for Nitro, and I believe the E-Buggy this week, correct?
Yeah, I was second place in E-Buggy for the round one club race. So
nice, and you qualified third in Nitro Buggy too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, I qualified third in Nitro, and I actually held. I was actually in second place for most of the race. But unfortunately, we had some headset issues, which I couldn't communicate to my pit man that I was running really rich, and that caused some flameouts after our pit stops. So I fell back to 7th place. I was still on the same lap as most of the pack up until 4th, so I could have still pulled a top 5, but my engine just didn't have it for that race, unfortunately.
No, and you know what? You can't win them all, but definitely looking good with the new kits. Sure, as soon as you get some of the issues worked out, it's going to be crazy. So, what is the next big race for you?
That would be the Nitro Blast in Otterville. That's my next big one.
Nice. Definitely looking forward to seeing you out there again for sure, and kind of just seeing how far you progress with the kids. Coop, what's going on, buddy? Man, we had a pretty crazy weekend ourselves, but so what I wanted to talk about was basically the J Concepts race first.
Yep.
That one was pretty crazy. You had the weather to deal with. You had basically, I'm going to say, minimal track practice, I believe, for that one too, right?
Yeah, next to none, actually.
So basically you showed up. The kits were pretty close to what you liked. I know you had the one issue with the E-Buggy, which took you out of the podium for that one, but hopefully we got you all sorted out with that. And we got some experimental parts coming your way, which is going to be the new C and D block, which I can't wait to get into your hands because I'm sure you will definitely be able to experiment a lot with that. What do you want to say about that race? I know like the highlight definitely was the nitro finish for sure.
Yeah, so I actually went there on Thursday night because I didn't feel like driving at 4 in the morning to get there. But when I showed up, it was like torrential downpours. Like the whole place was flooded out. Like you'd step on the grass and your feet would just sink into the grass and like squelch water out. It was terrible. We wouldn't even set up our pits that night because it was so bad. And we got up on Friday and it was still soaking wet, and we attempted to set up our pits, but it was a mud bog in there. And the track had a solid 3 inches of water on it in the low spots.
So,
So yeah, Bego and the gang were going at it out there, shoveling water off the track and getting fans on it and everything. But it was still like 2:30, 3 o'clock by the time the first cars were on track, and the track was still pretty wet for a couple hours of practice. So I didn't actually go on track until 5 o'clock
okay.
in the evening. And he didn't rent lights for this race. We were just racing until dark, and so I only had like 4 hours of practice. And so I got 2 runs in with the e-buggy, and I got like 1.5 runs in with the nitro. So
barely even enough time to get a fuel run in.
yeah, barely. Like I was mainly in the pits trying to tune in my engine because it was my first time running it in the heat. I had only run it at Otterville in the spring, so it was pretty out of tune. So the couple runs I got, I could feel the cars needed some changes, and I just kind of winged it and made some big changes, hoping that it would be in the right direction for the morning.
Right.
And luckily it was. When I went out in the morning, there was an hour of practice in the morning. The cars felt really good. Just a couple little tweaks to get them in. But first qualifier was strong. First qualifier, I went out in nitro and got 3rd place.
Nice.
For the round. And e-buggy, I think I was like 6th or 7th. It wasn't the strongest run for e-buggy, but it was still solid.
Okay.
And overall, in the end, I think I qualified 5th in nitro and 6th in e-buggy, something around there.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I was in the main anyways, not up in the podium spot, but I was in the main. But my cars were feeling really good, and I was confident to push it right off the start of nitro. And right off the bat, there was a wreck, and I got myself right up to 2nd spot. And I held that for most of the race, and I was battling, we call him Little Whippet. He's like 3 foot tall. He's like 10 years old, but he is fast. He is crazy fast. And we call him Little Whippet because every big jump he goes into, his car is upside down. He just whips like crazy in every jump. He's a great little kid. But
Nice.
me and him actually fought tooth and nail for the whole race. The whole 30 minutes we were back and forth for the whole thing. And last lap, he tried to make a crazy pass on me and jump on the inside of me in the rhythm section. And he did make the pass, but on the next jump, he ended up clipping the pipe and flipping it over. So I was able to drive to the line, and I got 2nd spot right there.
Nice. And being that you're sponsored by J Concepts, that's got to be pretty special. And
Yeah, my team manager for J Concepts was actually there, and he was pretty happy with my results. So
nothing wrong with that. Now, is that Kevin?
yep, Kevin LaChapelle.
Sweet. Yeah, no, Kevin's an awesome guy. And if you haven't seen Kevin, check out his podcast. If you can speak a bit of French, he's definitely got a good one. But I was super proud of you. The only S Works on the podium messing up the AE party, man. It was awesome. It was like you photobombed it or something, man.
AE sweep minus me.
Yeah. No, it was definitely a super cool race. And now this one, I'm guessing that you're doing the entire points for Bego?
I'm going to try. I don't think I'm going to make the round 2, but they have one drop. So
Perfect.
I'm going to try my best to make the whole point series and see if I can get an overall championship trophy. But
cool.
I got started off with a strong start, 2nd place. So
Very good. Very good. And it looks like you're working on a little 2-wheel drive action there.
Yeah, I got my 2-wheel buggy here. I was actually, I don't know if I can flip my camera around here, But anyways, I got some bling going on in it, green aluminum.
Nice.
So
Looking snazzy.
tricking
So
it out a little bit.
yeah, so you're running that on Wednesday, you said. So
Yeah, Wednesday nights is our club race. The track is like 10 minutes from me, so I just go out and have some fun.
oh, dude, that I'm so jealous there, man. I'm hoping one day we could say that we're gonna have the track nice and local and have it so we can go and play with some cars indoors as well. But cool, man. So then going to the club race, then basically, do you want to chit chat about anything that happened there? A little bit better weather
Yeah.
for you for sure.
Yeah, well, the weather was actually really good. Yeah, the track was in really good condition when I went there. The J Concepts race, the track started out really rough because he didn't actually redo it this year.
Mhm.
But after all the cars running on it, it got smoothened out and packed down pretty good. So for the club race, the track was pretty good.
Yeah,
And the club race was pretty much inverted from the J Concepts race, because in the J Concepts race I got second in nitro, but then I ended up DNFing e-buggy.
okay.
And then in this one, I qualified second in e-buggy and third in nitro, and I held on to the second place in e-buggy. But
Yeah.
funny enough, I drove half of the race on 3 tires. About 5 minutes in, I blew my rear left tire.
Oh no.
The bead blew off, and I had enough of a lead on third place that I just decided to keep going. It was the tire's last run anyway, so I didn't care if I shred it to pieces.
Yeah,
And so I just decided to keep driving, and the car was just drifting through every corner. It felt like one of those little drifter go-karts where like it just automatically drifts through the corners. It felt like that. And I got the hang of it after a while, and I still ended up pulling like sub 40-second laps, which is pretty good on 3 tires.
yeah,
And
no.
I still drove it to the line on second place.
Nice.
And
It
then
looked, it looked good.
Yeah, and then in nitro I qualified third, and in the first corner I actually made a pass on second place, really good pass, just tucked it in on the pipe, didn't touch him at all, right by, and I held on to second place until my first pit stop.
Mhm.
But like I said, my headsets had died, so during practice laps I couldn't tell my pitman that it was running really rich. So I was afraid when it runs rich after a pit stop, when we use the fuel gun, it tends to flame out. So I couldn't tell him to lean it out. And sure enough, first pit stop comes around and he does the fuel gun, and I go out, and after a few corners it flames out.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, that wasn't fun. So he ran it back in, and first flame out, he got me back out, and I was still in fourth place, and I could still battle for podium. But then
Nice.
next pit stop, did the same thing, flamed out again, fell back to seventh. So the car was feeling really strong. I actually wasn't far off Damien in first place. I was only a couple corners back from him when I got to my first pit stop. So if I had kept running, I'm sure I could have at least held on to the second. And maybe if he had an issue or a bad pit stop or something, I could have even battled with him. But you win some, you lose some, right?
That's right. No, man, it's all learning right now. And you know what? Having Colton on your side is awesome too, because having somebody solid in the pits is
Yeah, he's
always
great in the
hard to
pits.
find. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. So
It was so funny though, because the headsets were dead. He was just screaming his head off at me, because you know how loud Bego is with all the drag cars and everything. He was just screaming at the top of his lungs, "Pit this lap!"
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
geez, I
it's
can only
funny.
imagine how loud it is there without
Yeah.
having communication devices. Well, cool, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we cut you loose and let you go have some dinner?
Oh, I think that's it. I'm looking forward to the Nitro Blast. That's going to be fun. We got a whole crew of us coming down there for that one. So.
Oh, dude, it's going to be sick. And Jim just got his e-trug shipped out today. So
Yep.
looking forward
Yeah, I've
to,
heard all about that.
Yeah,
He's looking forward to that.
Man, he's definitely one that likes to build stuff and show stuff off. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with this kit for sure.
Yep.
But hey, what's up, Kyle? What's up, Wayne? Man, I don't know if you ever seen Kyle Robinson yet.
Yeah, I raced him at the last Otterville race there.
He is definitely picking it up.
Yeah, me and him actually had a battle for a few laps there in the last Nitro race. He's getting up there.
Yeah, and his chassis. I don't know if you've seen his chassis.
It's a Team C, isn't it? Something like that?
It is an experimental chassis. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Mugen-based custom chassis, and
Yeah.
it was very unique when he was showing it to me. I was super impressed because you don't see that around locally. I'm gonna say it was
Yeah.
pretty cool to see him running something different, but I feel that he has stepped it up huge this year, and it was super cool to see Kyle like just crushing on the competition out at the Barnyard. We actually did a double header, and even right now, I'm like, I could put my head down and probably go for a nap.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't wait to get to bed tonight, but we got a little bit more to go through with the show, and I appreciate you jumping on and talking about Quebec,
Yeah,
and
no problem.
looking forward to seeing you in person and picking your brain and showing you kind of what we've been trialing here.
Yeah, for sure. Be a fun time down in Otterville.
Yeah, man. Well, if you want to go through your list of sponsors and thank them real quick, you can definitely give some plugs out.
Yeah, so I'm lucky to have a lot of support for sponsors. I got S-Works, of course, for my chassis, and J Concepts is a huge help for my tires and bodies and aero. And I got Hobby Wing ProTech for all my servos and batteries and everything. KCRC is a local guy here from Quebec. He's got a CNC machine, so he makes all sorts of little custom parts. 110 Hobbies, so you're talking about Jim there with the truggy. That's he works at that hobby shop, and then Kid Customs is my buddy Colton. He's got a little side business going on. So
Nice, man. That's a good lineup, actually. Now, I know that I seen the body and wing package that you were running on the S-Works. Both of those were J-Con, correct?
yeah, I was running the J Concepts S15 body and the F2 wing.
Nice. And if it's perfect, it looked like it seemed like you had no issues with that.
Yeah. The arrow is really good on all the jumps. A lot of guys were having issues with the back triple jump where the car would like nosedive forwards and they couldn't bring it back, and then they just lawn dart on the end.
Okay.
But I found the F2 wing I have has like little gurneys that you put on the back, and I flipped them up so that it would cause more drag, because usually the gurneys are to make the car lift forward purposely for when you're having problems with it like leaning back.
Right.
But I actually flipped them up the other way to make it have more drag, so that it would lean back more instead of forward, and it helped on that back jump. I never lawn darted it at all.
Nothing wrong with that. Cool, man. And what tires were the preferred tires up there?
J Concepts Blue Detox.
The Detox. Okay.
They're the equivalent of like a Proline slide lock. A lot of people know that tire.
Yeah, no, they're definitely pretty popular tire. I know a couple people are running the J-Con stuff up at Otterville, so you're gonna have a few other J-Con guys there to bounce ideas off of for the tire game for sure. But cool, man. I appreciate you jumping on board for a quick sec and go enjoy your dinner. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. And of course, good luck on Wednesday.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's nice being on here.
Okay, man. We'll talk to you then.
Talk to you later.
All right, man. That was super cool to have him on. I know he had a few things going on. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to the first leg of our RC adventure. Yeah, the Proline slide locks, yeah, they're no joke, man. They're definitely a good tire. We are currently running out of all of our VP Pro tires, and we are slowly switching over to T Pro, and we've had some tremendous luck with that so far. But first up is going to be Crestwood, and all I have to say that if it wasn't for all of my team, I wouldn't have been able to pull off this doubleheader. So thank you to Jeff and Ryan. If it wasn't for you two, we wouldn't have been able to go out and have this much fun. So at Crestwood, just the club day, they had 77 entries, and oh my God, what a great time this was. They ended up having the double A mains for Truggy, E-Buggy, and Short Course, and basically it was an amazing event to attend. You want to talk about having like ridiculous amounts of traction. This track had big jumps. It had rhythm sections. It had a long straightaway. It had the most challenging rhythm section I've had in a long time. Like, that six pack was intense. If you could make the six pack, you know you were having a good lap. But let's go into the Nitro Truggy A main. We'll start off with that. So taking the top spot was Ryan Martin, and Ryan was looking just dialed in this track. He wasn't doing the single, triple, double, or whatever it was in the six pack. Marlene had the cleanest line in Nitro Truggy by far, and she was doing a single, triple, double, and it looked amazing. I was just trying to get through it with staying on all fours, so I was doing whatever. In the third place, you got Brandon Hom. In the fourth, you got Monty. And rounding out your top five, you got Nilton. It was crazy to see him out there and running laps again. Good to see him still at it out at the Crestwood RC. Coming up next, we will get into the 4x4 double A mains. So for the results here, came up just a little bit short. I actually broke in the last round and could only nurse it to a fourth place finish. But you got Super Dave winning 1-1 with only 2 points. And then you got a three-way tie between me, Riley, Anthony. And oh my God, was it so much fun with Rich rounding out the top five. But basically it went down to the tiebreaker, and I should have pushed just a little bit more with my broken truck in the last one. And maybe it could have been a little bit different, but it was still lots of fun anyways. It's been a while since I ran the short bus, and definitely a good time doing that. Now, going to the E-Truggy double A's. We will pull that up. And this one was crazy to watch because you had Sal and Ryan battling it out like crazy. Now, Sal got the better of him in A2, but Ryan won A1. So it went down to the wire in the last little bout, and it was down to a tiebreaker between those two as well. Then you had Wyatt in the third spot, Jeremy, in the four, David McLean, who I spoke to, and we're going to have on the show. We just have to set up a time, and this guy has some awesome stories, so you're going to have to stay tuned for that. If you don't know who David McLean is, you're going to have to check him out, but definitely super cool. Frank, it was awesome to see him out there battling again, and my boy Nathan Ross in the seventh, and just because you can see him on there, you got Carrie and Will. So super cool, battling it out. Nathan making the A main in Truggy, so super proud of him there. Now, moving on down to the double A mains for E-Buggy. We had Super Dave up top again, and he had some competition in A1, but A2 was Super Dave all the way. So whatever he figured out in short course definitely transitioned over to A2, and he had that buggy dialed. In the fourth spot, you had Anthony. Number 3, you had Riley again. Riley was definitely impressive on this track and was showing everybody the fast way around for sure. It was cool to see him running as strong as he did. Nathan, definitely awesome. And then you have our first of, I think 3 of us S-Works guys made it into the show. But you had Ryan Saunders in the 6th overall. You had me in the 9th overall, and Jeff in the 13th. Jeff had a few issues in the last round, but definitely fun. Actually, we had 4 because it was Jeff Boulay, Ryan Mitchell, me, and Ryan Saunders. All of us running S-Works chassis, so super cool to actually have the S-Works all in the show. We missed getting a picture with Kajana, but next time we will definitely get him in with the Team S-Works picture for sure. So now that we're done with that, we're going to go to the Nitro Buggy A main, the premier buggy class of the weekend. And of course, man, you had Tommy G up top, Mr. TLR, showing everybody how it's done on the Crestwood track. And then you had Andrew Bakar. Super cool to have him up there as a surprise up in the S-Works pits. If you don't know who Andrew Bakar is, we call him Mr. VRC because that guy is fire. And if he didn't have the issues that he had, if you look at his consistency, he had the lowest amount of consistency, but his fast laps were pretty darn quick, and he was showing us how to get around the track. That is for sure. Then you had Ryan Martin in the 3, Ron Lupel in the 4, and Marlene rounded out the top 5. So the Nitro 8 main buggy was definitely an awesome race. I have the video. I just got to get it uploaded. It's uploading to the hard drive as we speak. And then as soon as I'm done the show, I will have it upload overnight because my internet here is not as good as it should be. But don't you guys worry. We are finally going fiber as soon as we get our new house. So super excited about that. And we're actually going to have an official Ross Racing S-Works Canada podcast studio. Looking forward to it. So stay tuned for all of that goodness. So what else did we do on our weekend of racing? Well, not only did we go to Crestwood for the very first time, and we got to experience the whole clubhouse. The clubhouse had phenomenal food. They had a wicked deal for all the drivers. $15 for an awesome combo. Heaping fries, big burger. Actually, it was a cheeseburger and all the fixings that you could possibly shake a stick at, and a beer for $15. If you want to go the non-alcoholic way, it's $12, all taxes in, and you get the same combo only with the pop. So it was super cool. And you know what? The whole area it is awesome. And thanks to Ron and Dennis for setting it up. They had power on site. They have some other good things that they're setting up and bringing to the forefront. The only thing is, obviously, I think the internet is sketchy at all RC tracks so far, to my experience, because you know me, I would love to go live, but we will have to upload all the videos later. And Matt, wait till you see the baby Truggy A-Main live. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I will post up the links. I will try and do it first thing tomorrow as soon as I get home from work, unless I can get up extremely early before work tomorrow and share the links, or if I get a notification on my phone. But that baby Truggy class, I still got that song in my head. Baby Truggy, baby Truggy. They were playing it at the Barnyard, and it was just cracking everybody up. But speaking of the Barnyard, how about we get to some results? Because you know what? We tried following Monty and Carolyn Wolf from Crestwood all the way down to the Barnyard, but man, that guy must be a machine. I think he beat us by like an hour. We rolled in right around, I'm going to say midnight, something like that, and had to get up for 7 in the morning, so it made for a third long day of racing. Not going to lie. Thankfully, I had my teammates with me, keeping me in good spirits, keeping me awake, messing around with me in the pits. I had Nathan messing around with Aiden, and you know what? Just having some shenanigans in the pits, having a good time. And you know what? It was all the friends that made it a great weekend of racing. At the Barnyard, 141 entries, and boy, oh boy, did it not disappoint. So we are going to go to the final results. I think I can do it this way. Oh man, that kind of wrecked it. I'm not going to do it that way. But spoiler alert, Douglas Schufeld might have won something here too. But here it's a little bit simpler to go through because it was only one and done. Either you win your A main or you don't win your A main. So it was super cool. man, oh, thanks, Matt. You know, it was super cool to see you up there and getting around. You look like you're moving a lot better, a little bit more mobile. So I'm sure the worst is yet to come. But definitely a big reason why Baby Truggy is going as good as it has been. You are definitely a strong promoter of that. So we're going to start down here in the two-wheel drive A main. Now, this was the first A main of the day, and I think I only missed one A main, and I do apologize to you guys. I thought I had it captured, but I do believe I missed the two-wheel drive truck A main. You guys can beat me later. I apologize. But two-wheel drive buggy, A main action. Darren, geez, this guy was fire right from the get-go. He was setting the pace and didn't really have to push too hard to hold off the fast, high-flying Monte Wolf. He was definitely in the groove, 96% consistent, and only 6 seconds behind with about 6 seconds of sleep, too. Like, Monty was definitely a machine. I don't know how him and Carolyn pulled that off, but, man, mad props to them. And I know they're getting ready to do it all again this Thursday at the summer shootout. In the top three was Jay. In the fourth was Justin. And number 5 was Steve. So that is your top 5 in the A-Main two-wheel drive buggy. Moving on along to the truck class. Now, all these classes are going to be available at the summer shootout. Hoping to see everybody that can make it there. It's this coming weekend out at Spark. So, two-wheel drive, truck A, main. Look at Steve Bowman's consistency. Yeah, that is almost 99% consistent. You want to talk about a good run, that is one right there. 98.7% consistency. And when you're winning and leading, that's pretty damn good, I'd have to say. But you got Steve Bowman taking the top spot. Craig Albertine in the 2. And Mark Petronas in the 3. Darren Martin, awesome. And this guy was working on the track like crazy too, man. It was super cool. And rounding out the top 5 was Dalton. And just because I can see his name, I got to say Jonathan Hilton. He was running smooth, 90% consistency. Oh, sweet, man. Team Extreme is going to be heading on up to our local track. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to seeing Coop there. Should be a good time. So let's keep on going here. We got two-wheel drive, short bus action, and Ryan Fireball McKay. I was bugging him right before the start of this race, asking if he had a little something for Justin. And lo and behold, he pulled it off with a 96% consistency race over Justin, and literally less than 4 seconds in between the two after the full round of racing. So unbelievable job by Ryan Fireball McKay. Super cool to see somebody putting Justin in the number 2 spot. You got Mike Dory in the 3. You got Trevor in the 4, and you got Adam in the 5. Oh, man, it was super cool to see those two battling it out, and can't wait to post that one up on social media. It is going to be an awesome two-wheel drive, aiming for sure. Up next, you got the little Land Rockets. These buggies are so fast. Like, look at the lap times, man. 23.7 seconds is the fast lap there. Awesome job. Obviously, Douglas Schutfeld taking the win. In the number 2 spot, you got Darren again. And then I was talking about Kyle earlier. Kyle is coming into his own. He was the only one that was giving these guys a little run for their money. And look at his consistency, too. Just killing it, man. Super proud of Kyle and the way that he's running. You got Chris in the 4 and Jason rounding out the top 5. And Jason drove all the way from the 10th spot, which is the bump, with his 96% consistency. Boy was on a mission there, but definitely cool to see the buggy results there. Definitely going to be a cool one to post up. Douglas put on a clinic, though, for sure. Now we got the 4x4 short bus A main. You got Grant in the number 1 spot. You got Billy in the number 2. Nice last name, by the way. You got Tim in the 3, Todd in the 4, and Adam in the number 5 spot. And a shout out goes to Phil. Phil and Noah are going to be running in the baby truggy class. I might have to think it has a little something to do with this Matt character chiming in here, but you never know. But it's going to be cool to see those guys running the baby truggy out at the barnyard. And he was super happy. He has a brand new 4x4 short course body that he's going to be trying to get ready for the next round, and it looks like it's going to be awesome. So going to the E-Buggy A main, is it a surprise at who's on top? Is it ever a surprise? It would be a surprise if he was not on top. But yeah, we'll get to the baby trugs, but they were awesome to watch. Now, if you guys haven't seen the baby trugs, basically they're a stretched wheeler to mimic the truggies just as a 10 scale. So it's like a 10 scale truggy with just ungodly amounts of power. It was cool to see these things whipping around the track. So let's get back. Who's that guy in first place? Oh yeah, I forgot. It's Douglas Schufeld. Awesome dog. Douglas, he's a machine. It was cool to see. 96% consistency, running 23-second lap times, but did not have the fast lap of the race. That one belonged to Kyle, keeping it super smooth. He also had 96% consistency and was right there nipping at the heels, was only 3.2 seconds off of Douglas's pace, which is just each week I see he's getting closer and closer and closer. Then you got Dylan in the number 3, Darren in the 4, and Monty Wolf rounded out the top 5. Now, S-Works was here. Let's see what we got. We got Jeff, Carl, and Adam all in the A main. Somehow I made it. Don't ask me how, but they were just trying to be nice because I drove all the way and did a doubleheader, and they allowed me to get into the show. But it was pretty darn cool just to make the show. Wish I was there to run my. Oh yeah, no kidding, Coop, man. It definitely is a growing class and is super awesome to see. Oh, Kyle's still on the show, so yeah, dude, you like barely got caught at the loop, man. 3.2 seconds. It would have been cool to see you battling it out until the last of the buzzer, but dude, you are definitely making some moves, and it is showing. You're definitely a huge up. I can't even say up and comer. You're already freaking there. It's cool to see. All right, so up next, speaking of baby truggy, here we go. Oh, I see somebody in the top 5, but number 1, you got Kel. Number 2, you got Rich. Number 4, you got Grant. Number 4, you got Matt the Man. And number 5, you got Steve, I believe, with a last lap pass on Rick Hay. It was crazy, that battle. You're going to see the whole thing unfold live. It's going to be on my actual YouTube channel. I'm not sure if you guys see, but here, let me just comment here. Oops, I put an extra thing there. So, okay, so when it comes up in the comments, it's RC News, and that is where I'm going to try and post up all of the videos. I will obviously share the link on the Ross Racing website or Facebook page, of course. And I just thank you guys for following all of our crazy racing shenanigans. So we're going to move up to the last race of the weekend, and it was the 8-scale E-Truggy A main. So look at who's in number 1. Are you surprised? Not so much. Douglas Schufeld again, but I gotta say, look at his freaking fast lap. geez, could you get any faster? He was almost running 21 seconds. Unbelievable. 95% consistent at 22 seconds per lap. His average 15 is faster. His actual overall average of 23.5 is 2 seconds faster than my fast lap. Just to put that in perspective. I know that I'm like, a ridiculously fast C main, B main guy, but like that is crazy that he is that fast. Yeah, you nailed it, man. That fast with a truggy. And this just in, he's not going to be at O-Town. And I'm kind of surprised, but not really, because he is going to be going down to Wicked Weekend. We are all going to be having a pit party. We're going to put it up on the Jumbotron. We are going to put it up on the big screen and make sure that we have a big cheer squad for Douglas, because you know what? When he goes there and runs the pro class, I'm going to have him on the show again before he goes up there, obviously, but he's going to be running pro nitro buggy, pro e-buggy, and e-truggy. So he's going to be going there swinging guns a-blazing, and I can't wait to see what he can do on a scale like that. It is going to be awesome to see what no kidding, man. It is going to be amazing to see what Douglas can do in a pro setting. I know he's got all of the Canadian Ontarians cheering him on. It's going to be epic to watch and see what he can do. But getting to the e-truggy, A-main action, we got a little Schwerk in there. Number 1, Douglas. Number 2, Fireball Ryan McKay with 95% consistency, 23-second lap times on his home track. Not too shabby. Number 3, S-Works pilot, Carl. Definitely doing good with his new ride. As soon as he gets a couple more weekends in on those kits, I know it's going to be lights out. He keeps getting faster each time out. Number 4, you got Chris. And number 5, you got Tim. And you got Derek Pryor in the 7. Derek, wow, really taking the bump spot and running with it, man. Doing awesome in the number 7 spot. Rob in the 8. Matt doing awesome in the A, 9 for 9. And Craig Albertine also in the A main there. So it's going to be pretty damn sick. Oh, Matt, no, for sure, man. Ross Racing rolled up to Wicked Weekend. It is by far the most family fun big event we have ever been to. I believe there was only around 576 entries, and the way that they do it, it was such a fun family format. Not only did they have the stuff on and around the track, they had clinics, they had pros, they had this, that, and the other. They had cornhole competitions, they had the big party, and it was for Soar. Soar actually threw it on, which was my previous chassis sponsor, and it was probably one of the most memorable times. I got to meet one of my good friends, Ryan, and he's still my friend. He's definitely one of the guys I look up to in the RC hobby, and it was just an all-round good time to be had up there at Wicked Weekend. So we're wishing Douglas the absolute best that he can do. But we'll get him on the show, make sure we hype him up and talk about that for sure. But in short, I just want to finish with this weekend. You got the summer shootout, and we're going to be setting up either Thursday night. So I know that Monty and Sean Wang are going to be on site. So thank you guys for bringing your mobile hobby shops there and supporting us and doing what we do. It's going to be awesome to see you guys out there. We're also going to be having the whole S-Works contingents out there. We're going to try and do the best that we can. I consider this our home track, so we're going to be trying to showcase what the S-Works can do out there for sure, and basically just have a good time. Dennis, welcome to the show, bud. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. And the summer shootout has been in hiatus, obviously, since the COVID, and it's finally going to come back. I love it when we can actually have a 2-day race event at our home track. And if you haven't been there, They got the Calasante's Tropical Garden. They got the petting zoo. They got the roasted chicken. They got the best cinnamon sugar donuts you can shake a stick at. They got homemade juices. They got the whole kit and caboodle. It is obviously an awesome time. I can't say enough about it. We have the best pit area in the entire RC game. I know I'm a little biased, but it is super cool. We got a driver stand for the drivers, and we got a driver stand for the fans. We got fencing throughout the entire facility so you can actually check it out. We got power on site. We got water on site. So you know where it's at. It's going to be at Calasante's Spark RC Raceway coming up this weekend. It should be a blast. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I don't really have too much more. I'm going to have a few more goodies coming in shortly that I can't wait to show off. Now, I know you guys seen that we've been using the, I guess, Sharpie washable markers on the pit board, trying to keep track of who's racing what. You'll see me writing all over my stuff, trying to figure out my setup sheets. But if you haven't gotten it yet, and I got to pay a huge kudos to Jeff Boulay for telling me about this. If you can, you got to look up the So Dialed pill chart. And if you look it up, I'm going to show it here to the camera. It got every vehicle you can possibly think of. So obviously for mine, I'm going to go to the S-Works, and we're going to go to the front of the car. And basically this is what it looks like. So it gives you a pill chart like that, and it shows you all the settings that you possibly can do. And it tells you what those settings actually do. So it tells you if you have tow, sweep, current, new, what the changes will do. Kick up, current, new. Track width, current, new. Roll center, current, new. And then it also tells you if you change this, what your suspension mounts will do, your roll center, your toe in, your kick up, your anti-squat, your toe out, and your track width. This little tip here is awesome, and definitely an awesome little gadget that you can have. And most of the 8-scale vehicles are on this app. It is so super cool. Thank you, Jeff, for basically telling me about this. And it's amazing because you can even do, so say you wanted to do spacers or mounts that change the mount height, you can actually put in your custom information and it'll calculate that all into the equation for you. So when you actually do the changes and move the dots, I'm like right here, so you can move the dot there, you can move the dot here, and it'll basically tell you the before and after and what the dots do. So you got your current on this side and you got your new over here, and it basically goes through the whole kit and caboodle. So awesome tip to use that for all your racing needs. Like all those vehicles are covered. So yeah, Brian, it is going to be awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And So Dialed not only has the pill calculator, but it also has the setup sheets in there. So you can actually save your changes from track to track and not be like me and try and write it and scribble it and have like freaking notepads and crayons and blah, blah, blah all over the place. It can all be on your phone. Let's face it, nobody goes anywhere without their phone unless they forget it. So it's going to be super cool. This weekend we got the summer shootout, and then I think we're going to be local for a while. I'm going to have to check out the racing calendar. We are still getting ready to move, so that's going to be super exciting. And hopefully John is having fun out at Padova. I know he went down to that track. I seen him doing the Padova bus stop or train stop or turbo train or Bort train, whatever they do over in Italy. Wishing him the best of luck while he is over there, and looking forward to hearing how he did racing out at Padova. I just can only imagine. I've only been able to race it virtually online, and he actually gets to do it in the real deal. So super cool that way. But it is coming up on 50 minutes, so I'm going to cut you guys loose. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and it was such a cool weekend. I had to kind of jump on here and talk a little bit about the weekend, and it was packed, man. Thank you again to Ryan Saunders, Jeff Boulet. They were my A and B team this weekend. Definitely keeping it fun and exciting for me. And it will definitely be a fun weekend, more relaxed coming up at Spark. Like I said, it's my home track. I can be more chillaxed and laid back and just be like, chill. Yeah, right. Like you ever seen a chill Adam Ross. But we are going to let you guys go. Oh, Derek, you're going to have to listen to the replay. I don't know if you were watching earlier, but we are going to upload the Truggy A main for you guys. You guys definitely did awesome. Derek, we're hoping to see you again this coming weekend out at the Spark Summer Shootout. And I know me, you, and Rob always have some great battles, but we are going to cut you guys loose. I will see you hopefully live this weekend right from the track, because I know at my track we got some internet there. So we will be coming at you live, most likely Friday or Saturday night. We'll have to keep you guys posted, and we'll do a track walk. We'll get all that good stuff. But stay tuned to the Ross Racing Facebook page. I will have those videos of all the A-mains at the Barnyard and all the videos that I got from Crestwood uploaded as soon as I possibly can. Until then, I will catch up with you guys next